Next video, lock in here. I accidentally came during a job interview.
Hi everybody. I had a job interview today and I came in my pants during the interview.
This can't be real. This literally can't be real. Don't beat yourself up about it too hard. I hate my recommendations. This is definitely a f***ing skit.
During the interview.
Not this guy. Is this fake?
I have struggled my entire life with
Oh god.
ADHD and anxiety and bipolar disorder.
What does that have to do with coming in your pants during a job interview? Oh my god.
And I've spent so long trying to figure out how to manage my symptoms so that I can actually be a normal person on a day-to-day basis. And it seems like everything I do doesn't work. I was addicted to Xanax for so long and it ruined my life. And it just felt like everything I did somehow made it worse. And now the one thing that I thought worked clearly doesn't. Basically, I figured out at a very young age that if I was anxious and I was insecure,
he's gonna say he would like stimulate himself or something. Oh god.
the way that in the moment I could sort of calm myself down and make myself focus and make myself more confident was to make myself horny, basically. So, you know, thinking about something sexy to the point where I would
Oh my god, he is actually crying and having snot come out of his nose. This has to be real.
Most of the time it went fine. You know, it would actually work really well because
oh my god.
Because
I need to see his other videos. Is this guy real? Boo-hoo, your dog died rant. I ran over my date. I thought I'd liked being cucked. This can't be real. This guy, my first kidnapping. Okay, get the fuck out of here. I saw my grandma pleasing herself. Yo, nah. We need to watch this. We need to watch this guy. Oh my god, how have I never known about this dude? He makes so many videos. What the fuck? Do priests masturbate? Get the fuck out of here. Oh my god.
what it does is it sort of makes it's sort of like a natural medication, because when you get horny, the chemicals that your brain releases are, you know, you have dopamine and adrenaline and those sorts of things, and that's very similar to the medications that you would actually take for anxiety or ADHD or that sort of stuff. So I figured I was just going to do that and it would be fine, but I got to the interview and I started having a panic attack as usual in my car, and I pulled out my phone and I started looking at porn and whacking it, basically.
Oh my god, what the
because that really helps when I have a panic attack. It helps me. And I guess that was my first mistake. I sort of got a head start before I went in, you know.
So he
in,
stopped, but then he went into the job interview?
And
oh, he's gonna say like the interviewer was pretty.
And it starts off okay. You know, the receptionist is very nice. I'm waiting for the guy to come out who's going to interview me, and I sort of start preparing my fantasy that I'm going to focus on through the interview. So it's good. For me, usually that's stuff like cucking and
This guy's gonna make me pass out.
pet. Well, I don't know. You know what I mean?
you don't need to know. It doesn't matter.
I don't need to get into it, but you know what I mean.
Everybody
has sort
no,
of
I feel like this. I don't know. Maybe he's just the most interesting guy in the world. What the fuck? That he can't be faking that. He's like actively having snot come out his fucking face. That is this real? I know we saw he's an actor. He's got to be a damn good actor. How the fuck is he getting snot to just come out his face like that?
Sorry, I'm a mess. I just have been crying all day since it happened this morning. So the guy comes out, and I have to kind of, because I don't want to stand up and then have a, boing thing happen. So
They tuck it in the waistband.
So I stand up and I say hello. I shake his hand, blah blah, and it starts going well. We make small talk, and we go into the interview room, and it starts fine. But then the first thing that happened that sort of made it go worse was that on the website they advertised the position as being fully remote, but then in the interview he said that actually I had to come in 3 times a week still, and I started to get. Normally I probably would have just said okay, whatever, but this I really didn't want to come in because, like I said, I have debilitating anxiety and social scrap. So I looked for a remote position on purpose so that I would be able to be easier for me to work. So I wanted to confront him about this, and because my anxiety was getting worse and increasing.
Oh no, he had to ramp it up. He had to pick it up. He had to pick up the pace on his thoughts. Don't tell me you started over the pants.
I had to sort of make I had to get more aroused, because it's like if that goes up, then this has to go up, right? So I was thinking more about my fantasy, and then also I was there was a desk there, so I started kind of
He was over the pants. Oh my god. Mid-interview?
working myself. You know what I mean? I know that when I'm explaining it right now, it sounds bad, but you have to understand that most of the time nobody would find out, right? And you also have to understand how difficult it is. I don't think most of you know how difficult it is to have anxiety and panic disorder and ADHD and probably autism. I don't even know. I have tons of stuff. It feels like every single. So it's debilitating. So I try to do anything I can to feel better. And if this is what in a capitalist system, I do anything and anything to survive in capitalism. So yeah, I was under the table. Yeah.
No way he wouldn't have noticed that.
And he says, so I asked him, you advertise the position online as being a remote position, but now you're saying that it's not. And he said, well, I don't know what we said online. Sometimes that stuff isn't accurate. So I said, whatever. And I moved on, because now I'm not even sure I want this job anymore, but maybe, that's the type of thing where maybe we can figure it out later. And then he asked me about my last job, which obviously I got fired from if you watch my recent videos. So I was trying to figure out a way that I got really nervous trying to figure out a way that I could say what happened, but also not, if he called my old boss and asked what happened, I didn't want to have lied.
What happened at the fucking old boss?
But also, I want to explain it in a way that it doesn't sound that bad and seems, reasonable, and hopefully.
So even if this is fake, he has a whole storyline going of his life. It's not separate videos. He has a Daniel Henschel universe that he's formed. This reminds me of the I Dated a Squirter video. Stop. Oh my god, the Pringles can guy. See, now you're just giving me good videos to watch in the future. That sounds hilarious.
I was trying to kind of keep myself under control, but I was also I felt myself all of a sudden, it kind of snuck up on me. I felt myself kind of all of a sudden go over the point of no return. right? And so I felt it happen, and I was kind of like, and I tried to.
I was saying in my head, I wanted him to act it out so bad. Now that's fucking hilarious.
Pretend
Holy
shit. So I felt it happen, and I was kind of like, and I tried to pretend to have a coughing fit, because you can try to act like nothing's happening, but on a certain level, something's gonna happen. So I'm trying to go like, and I must not have done a very good job, I guess, because afterwards he looked at me very strangely, and he was like, is everything okay? And then I just kind of broke down, and I said, no, it's not. It's not okay.
Did he tell him?
Because I know that it's not your fault, but nothing in my life is going right at all. And it feels like everything I do to try to make it better just makes it worse and ruins my life more. So no, it's not okay. And at this point, I knew that the interview was over and we were past the point of no return, and I started crying. And I stood up I said, you know what, we talked a little bit for a formality, but then eventually I said, okay, I think all right, that's, and I stood up, and there's a big,
no. There was a wet stain?
It was obvious what happened. I don't know what else I need to say. And I shook his hand because I didn't know what else to do. What am I supposed to do? I just shook his hand, and I ran out so that before the receptionist could see me or anybody else in the office, but I'm sure they all saw me. And I just kept waiting in my car and cried all day.
That might be the funniest story I've ever heard. I need to see one more video from him. I'm invested now. Partying at my ex-wife's grave. Jesus Christ. Where was that one? My nephew's paralyzed and it's somehow my fault. I saw my grandma pleasing herself. I need to see this.
Let me just say first, there's nothing wrong with doing that. I understand that it's perfectly natural. It's just that I was having a really bad week, and
yo, I bet I'm not commentating on this like almost at all. I have no idea what to fucking say. This shit's just fucking funny. How would you even walk in on that?
And I was not in. I just wasn't in the. I wasn't in a good mental headspace to process that.
Yo, that low-key would be traumatizing, though. Walking on your grandma. Walking in on your grandma. Fuck. I mean, walking on any family member would be horrifying. But your grandma, that might be the worst. That'd probably be the last choice if you had a gun to your head. Your fucking grandma? Gee, oh, hell no. If you open the door and you're like, oh, granny, grandma, gram. And then you walk in and you just see her, like, going to town. Close that door. Your consciousness has just altered.
I just hope that now, every time that I think about my grandmother, or I see my grandmother, or I talk to my grandmother, that I'm not gonna think about it every single time, because I love my grandmother so much. And I don't want to lose my grandmother.
We need some details here, man.
Went over her house today because...
Yo, it actually looks like he's imagining it in his head, though.
She lives in Pasadena, and she had a computer question.
Details? Yeah, I want him to tell the story. The fuck?
Go figure, right? And I said, of course I'll come over and help you with whatever.
Like, shut the fuck up. You say no details. You're telling me your friend is hanging out with you on like a fucking Saturday night. And he's like, yo, I swear to God, I just saw my grandma touching herself today. You wouldn't go, what happened? There's no way you're just gonna go, damn man, that sucks. Right? Like you're not gonna immediately comfort him. You're gonna be like, what? Like you're gonna be intrigued by what happened. Right? Tell me the story. Like you want to envision it in your head because it's fucking. Oh my god, that's the most interesting thing. That would immediately, whatever I was doing, I would just be like, what do you mean?
So I came over and I saw that her car was in the driveway, and I go over there all the time, so I just went in. You know, not a big deal.
I'd say reenact it. Okay, that's too far.
And I didn't see her around. I called out. I said, "Grandma." She wasn't there. So I just went over to the computer and I started seeing if I could figure out what was, the problem.
Yo, old people really do that shit, though. Do they? Probably not after a certain age. But, like,
And a few minutes went by. And then I just heard it was...
In retirement homes, they don't got to worry about pregnancy? You really think they're getting it on in retirement homes? I'm going to Google that. 40% of people between 65 and 80 are sexually active on a weekly basis.
It's sort of like a... I just heard it was sort of like a and a few months ago my grandmother tripped in the shower.
Oh my god.
And she broke her hip.
Oh my god,
and really hurt herself.
He thought she was injured.
And I was the one who found her. And so I got really scared because I thought maybe my grandmother was in trouble.
No.
And so I ran up and I said, "Grandma, are you okay?" And I didn't hear anything. So I opened the door to her bedroom. And she was... So I ran back out. I said, "Oh my God," and I ran out.
Oh, that would be so
And I
awkward.
keep thinking, the part that I...
Chat, even, like, I know this is fake, but, like, somebody's experienced this. 8 billion people in the world. It's 2024. It's someone... Hell, somebody in this chat might have walked in on their fucking grandma, dude.
I can't stop thinking about is her face was like, I don't even want to... She was like, I don't even want to... Okay. Hopefully one day this will be just a silly story that we all talk about. If I can even talk about it. But I don't even know what to say. She's called me a couple times and I've just declined because I don't even know what to say. I don't want her to feel bad, but I guess it was my fault for walking in. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to react to this situation?
Yeah, what do you do? What would you do in that situation?
And this is just this is not even the top third worst thing that's happened to me this whole week.
Wow, that is nuts. All right, we'll watch the one that Tentacos mentioned, and then we're hopping into the philosophy. Psycho for the 5. Rip the card if I hit gift 50 subs. Yeah, deal. I'll deal that. Yep. Yep.